who best, other than this lovely gentleman you can actually see? I wish you could actually see him after this, but definitely it's still a pleasure to have him on the program, Mr. Brian Matambo, who's the director for Techpro. It's good to have you on the program.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
Fantastic. Now, tell us a bit about Techpro.
Well, Techpro is a company that we started a number of years ago that focuses mainly on online marketing and content creation. So that's the space in which Techpro actually operates. So we've been creating content for the tourism sector, and we've been doing online marketing for the tourism sector. We've worked with many partners in that space. So we are needed most there because there's a great need to market tourism in Zambia.
That sounds wonderful.
And so there are three types of tourism. There's local tourism, there's domestic tourism, and then there's international tourism. So local tourism means that you get out of your house and within your locality you go to look at a park or something, or maybe go to a restaurant. That's a form of tourism. Domestic tourism means that you go out of your town, you go to another town within your country. For example, you leave Lusaka, you go to Livingston, you look at the Victoria Falls. That's domestic tourism.
Wow.
International tourism means that probably friends or foreigners come from outside the country to come and look at our culture, our wildlife, maybe our natural resources, and just to enjoy that kind of environment. Domestic tourism in Zambia has not gotten the attention that it really deserves. Okay, you see, I have a lot of friends who travel out of the country for holidays to Mauritius, to Seychelles, to Zanzibar, to France, and all kinds of different places. They go visit Dubai and so on and so forth. But if you ask them if they've been to the Kafue National Park to look at the lions, they don't know. If you ask them, for example, if they've been to maybe even just Siavonga or to Lower Zambezi, they don't even know the direction. If you've got a boat cruise, for example, and people don't know, it's going to be empty every day until you mark it on the radio stations, on TV, in newspapers. That's when people realize you exist, and then they can decide to come. Now imagine, before COVID, the tourism sector was still lagging behind. So now with COVID, it's double trouble, really, for the tourism sector. When international tourism is up and running, it's very possible that you could see quite some income on the national level. If you had like numbers that we've been looking at, if you had 5 million tourists coming to Zambia, you're talking about in excess of about $13 billion US dollars annual income in direct, indirect, and induced income in the tourism sector. So these are things that need to inspire. And I'm glad that we're seeing new airports coming up. Okay, we saw recently, a new conference center being launched at Mungushi, and more activities in that space, even in Livingston and so on and so forth, because that is going to give us a state where international organizations can hold their events here, and you have that MICE package in tourism also benefiting. So it's going to be that kind of investing that has to continue happening for us to really attract more numbers to come into Zambia. And there's been situations where we've seen South Africa advertising the Victoria Falls as if it belongs to South Africa because we can't market it ourselves, and that has to change. And people think that marketing is free. It's probably the most expensive thing a business can engage in, marketing. If you're a small business, then you need to market twice as hard to just match up. So we can't relent on the idea of marketing, and I believe that's what Techpro is trying to do. Go into that space and make sure that people know that there's a museum around, that there's a national park here, that you can enjoy these packages and so on and so forth. That word has to go out. So the Tourism Awards will be a virtual event that will be streamed on television and on social media. So we'll have a short code that people will be using to engage with the program. So we're going to have a show. It's called the Tourism Show. In the Tourism Show, we'll have videos from different operators and so on and so on, different tourism products. And as people see those, and they can interact. And that's what we want. We want that interaction to take place between the public and the operators, so that there's that relationship and there's that information that's being shared.
Indeed.
And then the tourism show will lead into the Tourism Awards, and the awards are going to recognize operators in the tourism sector that have been offering excellent service and you know and just to encourage them and to market them. So it's a marketing platform really for the tourism sector. This is an exciting program. Okay, there are prizes that are lined up. Our website www.tourismict.com. You find the information there, but viewers will have an opportunity to win holiday trips. They will have opportunity to win prizes like cars and residential plots and smartphones and smart TVs, I believe, and laptops and cash prizes and shopping vouchers and all kinds of stuff. And we have a lot of sponsors that have come on board. So we are incentivizing that engagement. So as the public engages with a show, they know that they are getting away with something, with a free holiday, with a winnable prize here and there. The operators themselves will now be able to market to a really wide audience. And we're targeting 15 to 20 million views on social media, and we're trying to see if we can get at least a minimum of 3 million views from television. So essentially, with that kind of a platform, backpackers and lodges and hotels and restaurants and adventure companies and tour operators can market themselves. So we're trying to market tourism, and this is the reason why we're working with the leaders in the sector, from the Ministry of Tourism themselves, the Zambia Tourism Agency, the Tourism Council of Zambia, the Zambia Association of Tour Operators, the Livingston Tourism Association, and many sector players. And we're involved with them and working together to make sure that we do this for the sector. Indeed. To get people excited about domestic tourism and to get them to get out of their homes and enjoy some tourism products.